Hey everyone, Chris here from Varsity Gaming. Today I'm going to be doing another rant video, and today it's going to be about memes and Tachanka. For any of you who have been playing Siege recently or been keeping up to date, you will know that Tachanka got a new uniform and headgear combo released not too long ago that's called the Lord Tachanka bundle. And if you've been playing Siege for long enough, you know that the meme in the community is that Tachanka is a god. Even on Tachanka's turret, on the shield, that Russian script on the side, that says Lord in Russian. And then, not to mention, the cringiest of them all, and the most obvious one, was in the Outbreak cinematics, when Ash was talking to Tachanka about what they should do, she addressed him as Your Highness.
3 days before the outbreak, NASA tracked a meteorite that fell into this area. We got confirmation that a local named Boyd Brooks hauled the object back to his salvage yard.
Coincidence?
No. He was trying to sell it online. This is why I called you. Your Highness?
Talk about just awful memes. And this meme's been going on for a long time. Ever since the beginning of the game, when people realized that Tachanka was outright useless, they started making memes about him, because in a game where movement and information are key, standing still in a turret turns out it's not that viable of an operator. So ever since then, people have been making fun of him, talking about how he's useless, and rightfully so. He is the worst operator in the game. And these memes have been pretty good. They have brought the community together, they've made videos, content online, and also helped spread the word about the game. I've been on other forums that have absolutely nothing to do with Siege, and I see a Lord Tachanka meme. This lets other people who haven't ever played the game before hear about it and actually try it. So memes in the community can be a pretty good thing. They also get changes in the game, which is awesome. When Ella was overpowered as shit and they came out with a post talking about how they didn't want to change her because she was unique, people memed the shit out of that, eventually forcing Ubisoft to retract that statement and put changes through anyways. They said how she was unique, so they didn't want to touch her gun or change her kit too much, and then just everyone fucking roasted them because calling an operator unique is by far the stupidest comment you can ever make. And then they nerfed her. Now Ella's actually in a good spot. Lion is kind of in the same boat. He is one of the most overpowered operators to have been released to date, and there was a huge meme around the community. Oh, just stand still. Best way to counter Lion? Stand still. He'll never find you. Pretty good meme, and it got him changed. It was a little slow. It took them like 3 months to eventually change him, but they did. So memes can be really good and powerful in the community because they can bring change. However, all these memes that have brought change were also not long lasting. The change usually came out at least within 4 or 5 months of the operator being released. This Tachanka meme has been around since the very beginning of the game, since 2015. It's been out for a long time, and no changes have been made besides the few ones that they made to Tachanka's turret. And for those of you who weren't around back then, I'll give you a quick rundown. At the very beginning of the game, Tachanka just had his normal turret with no shield, took a long time to deploy it, and it wasn't very deployable. A lot of stuff would block it, and you'd have to find a very good sweet spot. And slowly throughout the seasons, they made it so you can deploy it faster and pick it up faster, so that way you could be more mobile with it. Still takes like 2 seconds to put down. And then they also added a shield on the front. I think that was in Red Crow mid-season reinforcements, I believe. They added the shield because they said, oh, if you're going to be sitting in a spot, you need some protection. And they haven't made any changes to him since then, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong. But throughout all of that, he's maintained his meme status. And even though memes have been proven to be pretty good in this community, this one isn't. This one is actually a huge detriment to the community and actually sets a really bad precedent for what Ubisoft can and can't do. Before I really get into that, I'm going to quickly talk about how Ubisoft could have easily made changes to Tachanka a while ago, but still hasn't. There have been so many suggestions from the community that would work. Even if they weren't that powerful, they'd still be pretty good. Tachanka, on the overall, is not too flawed, it's just the execution of him is flawed. Him being a 1-speed 3-armor operator is fine. And he needs an ACOG, so let's say, okay, give him an ACOG. And say we want to keep his LMG and turret thing, but obviously keeping them combined is not working, so let's separate them. Let's make his gadget a turret that he can deploy that does damage. Alright? And then we'll take the LMG aspect and just make that his primary weapon. We're not going to make it like the current turret that he has, but make it like LMG, like Cappy Tao's or something, just an actual LMG gun that he can walk around with. And we'll throw the ACOG on that, and then the way he uses his turret, let's say it's remote controlled, because standing and manually operating it is not a good idea. But staying away from it and on a camera can actually be pretty beneficial, a la Echo. So if they made all these changes, he would actually be a pretty viable operator, and I think he would see a lot of play. But they haven't made any of these changes to him, and instead they're just going to keep him the way he is. So to go back to my previous point about why that meme isn't good and how Ubisoft refuses to make changes anymore is because all these changes and ideas that they've probably come up with to make Tachanka more viable, they're just going to add to different operators. And I can't really blame them. Why would they give Tachanka full rework when they could just put it on a new DLC operator and charge people for it? They can make some money off of it, and Tachanka stays the same. Not to mention that now Tachanka's free for everyone to use as long as you don't have the shitty starter edition. So it's not really hurting anyone to keep Tachanka in the game because you really don't have to spend renown on him unless you're using starter edition. So he can stay in the game, it doesn't hurt anyone. What's the point of changing him? Kind of makes sense. Make some money off of cosmetics like the Lord Tachanka bundle because people are going to really want to meme in game. And then make money on the DLC operators that they make instead of reworking Tachanka. And not to mention they'd probably get a lot of backlash from the community. If they were to change him at this point, a lot of people would be upset that they were losing their meme operator. Even though I know a lot of people would probably be happy with the Tachanka rework, I know there's a huge amount of the community that would be really upset. You go to any Twitch stream, you go to any YouTube video, go into the comments or on the Twitch chat, and I can guarantee you there will always be at least one or two people actively asking, can you play Tachanka? Can you make a video on Tachanka? Can you do a Tachanka stream? I hear this shit all the fucking time. Because people love their memes. They want to see other people suffer through what is a horrible operator just for their own personal enjoyment. So there's a lot of people out there who would really not want the Tachanka to be reworked because it makes for funny moments, it makes for interesting things, and it's something different. But it sets a bad precedent. And the reason why is because in the future, if Ubisoft makes new operators that are just as useless as Tachanka, they may not change them. If they become a big enough meme, they're just going to double down on that meme potential and try to get as much revenue as they can from it, focus solely on nurturing that meme, and then abandoning that operator in the future. The exact same way that they've done with Tachanka. So how do we fix this? Really, there's no way to fix it at this point. The damage is done. Ubisoft is not going to change Tachanka unless, for some reason, something happens along the line where they can finally change him without as much backlash from the community. And I kind of think this whole meme and online community thing is the reason why. So really the ball is in Ubisoft's court and what they should do in the future. If they ever release an operator who's just as bad as Tachanka, then they really need to immediately address the issue. The longer they wait and the longer they stagnate on making any changes, the harder it'll be in the future because more people will grab onto that meme and just drain it as quickly as they can. The only way the community could change is if they just stop making memes about operators, but like that's never going to happen. So really it's all in Ubisoft's court. They've had the stats for a while. You can see this graph from last season where they show how operators were in high diamond and plat. And obviously Tachanka has the lowest win delta and the lowest pick rate. So they've known for a long time, they just haven't addressed the issue until it's kind of too late. So my final point of the video is just that the reason why Tachanka is not getting reworked is because of the meme. The meme has killed Tachanka and any possible chance he has is getting reworked. He could have been a viable operator. He probably was meant to take Maestro's kit. But then they realized if they did change it, they'd get a lot of backlash. The benefits from maintaining the meme definitely outweighed the benefits of changing him. If they changed him, yes, they would have more chance of making every single operator viable. But then they lose a lot of their online free marketing, people making all these memes and posts that get new people into the game all the time. They'd lose all of that. They'd lose videos from content creators. I've made a few Tachanka videos in the past as well. I'm part of the problem too. But killing all that would not be worth getting one new operator, at least in Ubisoft's eyes. From a business standpoint, they should keep Tachanka the way he is and just focus on new operators. But I did just want to make this video as kind of a way to talk about why Tachanka hasn't been changed and why he won't be changed, at least for the foreseeable future. It's not Ubisoft being lazy, it's not the community's fault, it's just the meme became more powerful than they expected and it ruined any chances of him being changed. Anyways, that'll be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Tachanka and his current state down below. I feel like a lot of people are probably going to troll and be like, no, Tachanka's really good, but just give me your honest opinion. Do you think that this meme ruined any chance of him ever being changed? But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.